everyone, Catweazle here, welcome to the channel and welcome back to our playthrough of Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition and the Road to Legend app, where we're playing Rise of All Goblins. So we've done the little tutorial quest, we've gone shopping in Tamalir, and now we've got an opportunity to do a side quest. So there was a sort of dungeon down here and there was an inn up here. Well, the main consensus of opinion seems to be we are going to the inn. So let's just tap that. The worst exotic Meriod Inn. Travellers continue to disappear from this stretch of road despite the area being cleared of bandits and other foul predators. Your only lead is at the nearby illustrious roadside inn that continues to expand, improve and prosper. So let's travel. The road splits and forms a perfect circle around a tall menhir, inscribed with what might be mystical runes. Stay on the road or investigate the menhir. Let's investigate the stone. You walk through the waving grass to inspect the rough stone. Choose one hero to test knowledge. Who's got the best knowledge? Asrian 2, Grisban 2. It's Leoric. Of course it's Leoric with 5. So he is going to have a go. Let me get a black and a grey. Let's move this. No, I've dropped it. A 5. So he's done it. I'll pick the other one up that went on the floor. So well done, Leoric. It seems the stone has some magic to it. Dun, dun, dun. Chant the magic words or summon your reanimate necromancer. Well, I think we're going to summon our reanimate. Why not? Use the stone's power to summon your reanimate, which marches alongside you in stoic silence the rest of the journey. Right, so Reg has arrived. As you return to the road, however, you find yourself stumbling and your thoughts are muddled. You glance back at the stone and sense its cold presence probing your senses. Perhaps you are not the only one investigating. Each hero suffers 1 fatigue. Damn it! So, 1, 2, 3. That's 4 fatigue shared out amongst the team. Continue. You arrive at the inn in the late afternoon. The shade of exotic trees and a cool mist from a fountain in the courtyard give you some respite from the warm afternoon sun. Rising high above you, the centrepiece of the fountain is a life-size sculpture of a Meriod, posed in a manner that almost seems majestic for such a hideous creature. Streams of cold water jet from its tentacles and mouth, and blue sapphires gaze down at you from its eyes. The proprietor hurries from the far side of the complex and greets you. After considering your intent, he suggests that a nighttime investigation would probably be the most profitable, as that is when most of the inn's patrons are out and about. He offers you a room for free, allowing you to rest before beginning your search. Set aside tiles 7, 50, 51, 55, 56, 59, 60 and 62. Okie dokie. Right, we've done that. And the ground shakes and you hear the roar of very distant cheers. Exhausted from the journey, you force your eyes open. Place 7A, 1 end cap and 1 door. Place the heroes on 7A. Right, we shall pop away to the actual tile and we will put our heroes on it. Won't be a second. So here we are all set up. Put Leoric here next to the table. He'd probably want to do some like writing and stuff. And obviously he'd already called Reg. So we'll put Reg near the door just in case someone attacks us. We've put Grisban, I've put him sort of middle-ish in the room. I think these gentlemen would rather gallantly leave the bed for the ladies. So they've Asrian's here and we have got Jain here. So they're now set up. Let's continue. Standing above you, cloaked figures loom over your beds. They lift long knives over their heads, ready to strike you dead in your sleep. Blimey, it's like the attack on the prancing pony. Place one flesh moulder adjacent to each hero. Bloody flesh moulders. Right, won't be a second. So there we are. Set the master up next to Grisban. Minion number 1 is next to Asrian, minion number 2 is next to Jain, and minion number 3 is next to Leoric. Each hero tests either awareness or might. Each hero who fails is bleeding. Right, so put that there. So we'll go with the master first. So that's attacking Grisban. He's obviously going to test might. So he's got a might of 5, and he succeeds. Brilliant. Next up we have minion number 1, which is attacking Asrian, so it's awareness or might. Her awareness is 4, so it's going to be awareness, and she's fine as well. Then it's Jain, awareness or might. Might's 2, her awareness is 4, so she's going to test awareness as well. And she's fine. And then it's Leoric, and it's looking bad for Leoric. His might's 1, so he's going to do his awareness, which is 3. And there we go. We saved them all! Woohoo! What a set of stars! Right, brilliant. Continue. Place one search token, as shown. So that goes right next to the door there. Coolness. Continue. Setup is complete. Objective, escape your room. So it's quite easy. We've got to open the door and get out of the room. But I'd rather kill everything first, because if we open the door, we'll probably just get a load of other monsters piling in. So let's get the Flesh Moulder card. There we go. Can we see that? I'll put it at the side here. It'd be a bit better to see there. Yep, there we go. Nice. So it's going to be us to go first. So I think we're going to use Leoric. The reason being is because we stopped at that standing stone, it means we have already got Reg out. Reg is all ready. So it means we've got plenty of actions. We don't have to waste an action on getting Reg up and running, because he already is. So I think Reg is going to go first. I'm just going to check all this new stuff we've got, like Vampiric Blood and Fury of Undeath, just to make sure that I do it correctly. It won't be a moment. Okay, we're back with Reggie. So Reggie, as per Vampiric Blood, he gets a yellow die as well as these two. And it is a grey defence die. He's going to attack the Master. Go on, Reggie. Ooh, it didn't get any shields whatsoever. This is looking bad for the Master. So, so that's 1, that's 5. He's got a surge, so it's 6. And the Master Flesh Moulder has only got 5 health. Boom! Gets rid of it straight away. Reg the Beast. He's on fire. He's rolling thunder. He's just a god of destruction. And because he has defeated a monster, it means that Leoric can recover 1 fatigue. So that fatigue goes. That's cool. And he can still move. Reg can still move. So let's have him help the girls out. So he's going to go 1, 2. I think Jain will probably need the most help. So he's just going over there to help her out. So that is the end of his go. Now it's Leoric's go. But Leoric is going to exhaust Fury of Undeath. So as an action, he's exhausting this card. It's going to cost him a fatigue, and the reanimate is going to attack again. Brilliant. So there's his fatigue. And yes, he gets all these to attack number 2 Flesh Moulder. Oh, and it's another big hit. Reggie, you're the boy. So what's that? That's 6. 7 with that. With that surge. So it's goodbye to this guy. So great stuff from Reg. Brilliant. Cool. So he's now gone again. He's killed something again. So that fatigue we spent, we get it back. We recover it. Brilliant. And Leoric has still got an action. So I think what Leoric is going to do is he's going to attack this guy. So Moulder number 3, minion number 3. So he's attacking with his Ironbound Rune. So that is a red and a blue. And it's a grey defence guard die for the Moulder. It only gets a 1, but we only get 3 on it, unfortunately. So we've got no surge. I don't think there's anything else we can do. So that is just 2 hits onto Moulder number 3. So we'll put it at the bottom here. 1, 2, 3. And it's got 4 health. So we haven't managed to kill it, but we have put a small hurting on it. So that is it for Leoric. So let's end his turn. And now it's the Flesh Moulders. So each time a hero suffers damage, the closest monster to that hero that has suffered damage recovers 1 damage. But no hero suffered damage yet. And it's the Master Flesh Moulder to go first. Well, what a pity, because we've killed it. So the Masters have been activated. Minions, again, they've got the same thing. Each time a hero suffers any damage, the closest monster to that hero that has suffered damage will recover 1 damage. So if this guy manages to get a hit on Leoric, for example, then he's got an opportunity to start recovering this damage that Leoric put on him. So minion Flesh Moulders, spot the closest hero. We'll do number 1 first. Attack the hero within 3 spaces of this monster with the lowest might. So he's not spotting anybody because he's adjacent. He can spot everybody anyway. So who has got the lowest might? I think it's Leoric with 1. So it's going to attack Leoric. It's 1, 2, 3. It is within 3 spaces. So Leoric is going to... He's got something... I think, yeah, his Ironbound Rune. If you see at the top here. Exhaust this card after you roll defense dice. So we'll roll our defense dice first and see if it's worth exhausting. So they have got a blue and a yellow, and he's got a grey defence die. So Moulder number 1 is attacking Leoric. Ooh. So that's 2, and he managed to put 1 shield up. That's 1 damage as it stands, but remember he's still got that Ironbound Rune. What would it do with the surge? Flesh Moulders. Flesh Moulders spend surges in the following order. Mend, and then to add damage. Well, it doesn't need to mend this fella, because it's fine, so it would put it on as a damage. But it can only put it on, so that'd give it 3. Because that's giving it 3 damage, it goes down to 2 because of that, and we will exhaust Ironbound Rune. to give us an extra shield. So that is 1 damage. Onto Leoric. Now, because Moulder number 1 doesn't have any damage on it, it won't recover any. So that is okay. It is attacked, and for its next action, if within 2 spaces of a hero, well it is, perform a move action and retreat. Right, so it's got a retreat. Well, I think the furthest it can get away from anybody, it's got a move of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. That'd be it. I think it's here. This is the only place it can go where it wouldn't be adjacent to any of the heroes. So I think that's as far as it can retreat. So it's just going to retreat to there. That is Moulder number 1. So Moulder number 3 gets to go. Exactly the same. And obviously what it's going to do is it's adjacent to Leoric. Leoric's got the least might anyway, so it's going to attack him. Ooh, but brilliant from Leoric. You got 3 shields. So there are 3 of those, so it doesn't get any damage onto Leoric, which is good. And if you recall, I had a look at its surge order, and the surge order for Moulders is to use mend. So it's going to mend 1, so it's now only got 1 damage on it. No damage went through onto Leoric. Excellent stuff. So that is the flesh moulders. They've gone. So activate. Oh, it's got another move. It's got another action to retreat, hasn't it? So it's going to go 1, 2, 3. Again, that's the only place it can get to where it's not adjacent to a hero. Right. So that is the moulders activated, and it's us to go. So it's either Jain, Ashrian, or Grisban. Right, so I think we will have Ashrian attack because she has got the oak staff and that has reach. Yeah. So that means she can attack both these guys. She's going to attack the first guy. So Moulder number 1. And we're going to use one of her special abilities, I think. Which one shall we use? I think we'll use Shared Pain. So, as an action, we'll perform an attack. If we deal at least 1 damage after the defense die have been rolled, each other figure in that target's monster group will suffer a damage. Woohoo! So, we will do Shared Pain. So, that will cost a fatigue, so she's now at 2 fatigue. So we have blue, yellow, and a grey defense die. Woohoo! So that is 3 damage that has gone through. Ah! Rolled rock all. So that is 3 damage onto this guy. So 1, 2, 3. Onto Moulder number 1, but we also put an extra damage because of Shared Pain onto its mate, Moulder number 3. So she's going to attack again, and I think this time she's going to use Shared Pain again. It doesn't say once per turn or anything like that, so second action we're going to do it again. We're going to spend another fatigue, but this time she's going to attack Moulder number 3. The idea is if we get at least 1 on that one, it will be 1 extra on Moulder number 1 and it will kill it because it's already up 3 damage. Ooh, it rolled well, master. Right, so we do have a surge. And the surge on the oak staff is +1 damage. So we are going to get 1 damage through. 1 damage is going to go through onto number 3. And because we got at least 1 damage through, the extra damage that we needed onto moulder number 1 has gone in. Bye bye moulder number 1. Excellent stuff. Right, that is Ashrian's go. So she used Shared Pain twice, and that cost her 2 fatigue, and she's managed to get rid of one of the moulders for us. So fantastic stuff. Right, let's tap her portrait and end her turn. That's her gone. And who's going to go next? Well, I think that we shall have Jain go next. She can fire to this guy. We only need to get 1 more damage on it. Oh, you know what I forgot? You know, when there was one here, wasn't there, that activated to sort of hit. I don't think it really matters. Whichever one it was, whether it was number 2 or whatever it was, I think it was the second one, when it activated here to attack Leoric, well, as per Ashrian's special ability, hero ability, it should have been stunned. So it would have still got the attack in, because it had done it as its second action. First action, obviously, it'd have got rid of the stun. So, yes. So it wouldn't have been able to move here. But it doesn't matter, it'd have stayed there, and we'd have still got the hits in as we got them in. So, number 2, moulder, shouldn't have gone here, it should have stayed here because it would have got stunned. So, sorry about that, I've just noticed that. But, let's carry on. I don't think it really affected it that much. So, we're back to Jain, and Jain's going to attack this moulder here. So she's now got the City Guard's bow, and that is a blue and a yellow, and is the grey defence die. And she's missed. She'll try again. Come on. Yes, she gets it that time. And she got 3, 1, 2, 3, and as it's the final guy, she's also going to exhaust Mana Weave. She doesn't need it in order to kill the actual moulder, but that extra surge will mean she can get rid of this fatigue. So that moulder has been killed. Let's get rid of that. Get rid of those and the card. That can go up there. Groovy. Right, so she's killed them. That was a second attack. Put those over there. Right, so that is it for her. We'll end her turn. We will also select the flesh moulders and defeat the group. And we've still got Grisban to go. So, he didn't even have to do anything. He sort of woke up dead groggy going, what, eh, And before he's been able to actually pick his axe up, everybody else has killed everything. But that does mean he gets to search the search token. So we will press the search token on the app. One of your assailants dropped their cloak in the doorway. Search. You find 4 gold. Discard this token and draw a search card. So not only did we get 4 gold, we can actually look for something in here. So give it a cut. What do we get? A curse doll. This doesn't sound good. Flip this card over to discard any 1 condition card from yourself or an adjacent hero. Oh, in fact, this is really cool. Woohoo! So, nice one, Grisban. He'll probably hand that off to somebody, because when he rests, he can get rid of conditions off himself anyway. So what he may do is he may give it to somebody else. So that was his first action, which was to pick up this search token. He has now done that. His next action is he's going to spend another fatigue to move one space. He's going to move next to the door and he's going to open it. So let's press the yellow bar for the door on the app. You can open this door with an open door action. Confirm. Stumbling from your room, you try to call for help, but your cry catches in your throat. The courtyard is in chaos. Place tiles, 50A, 60A, 1 transition, 2 end caps and 1 door. I will now go away and do that. And here it is with it all placed. So this looks like that courtyard that was mentioned with that Meriod statue, and we have, looks like some sort of common room over here with a bar, a couple of end caps. We've got the door here. I haven't stood it up, it'd just get in the way. I imagine there's going to be a lot of stuff in here, so we'll just do it like that for the time being, but that's where the door is and it is shut. So where is everybody? We've got Grisban here, we've got Leoric here, Reggie's hanging out here, and we have Jain and Asrian. Right, let's carry on and press continue. 2 large Meriods trudge around the courtyard. Well, that's a big surprise, isn't it? Their long tentacles lashing out at the swarms of rats that hurry away. Unfortunately for you, they appear to have noticed your arrival. Place Meriods and rat swarms as shown, ignoring group limits. No! Righto, won't be a moment. And here we are with them all set up. Let's have a quick look at them. We haven't seen rat swarms or Meriods before, so here's a mini. This is the rat swarm. Can you see? It's just a load of rats there. So it's loads of little individual rats, and that's the master. So, pretty funky, don't they? Woo! So there's one over here in the bar, and these are the Meriods. So here's the master Meriod. You see, just some big tentacly thing. It's a proper Cthulhu-like sort of entity, this one. So look at it there, it looks pretty mean. So he's here. I've put the door back up because the size of these minis, we can easily see them. So I might get rid of the door though if we get any of our characters behind here, just so we can see properly. But as it stands, we can stand the door up. Let's have a look at the cards. So the minion rat swarms, they've got a movement of 3, health of 4, but they only have a brown defense die, which is good. So as an action, they can merge. That doesn't sound good. They can rend, and on a surge, they feast. And there's a little green die here, probably something to do with feast. We'll see that when we swap it over. Oh no, that must be the attack die. So that's their attack die. So that's not too good. From what I can recall, the green die, it's mostly surges. So they just nip away at you, I think. But I dare say merge and rend do something nasty. The master, again, that's also got a green attack die. It's ravenous, doesn't sound good. Merge and rend on an action, like the minions, and they too can feast on a surge. They've got 3 movement, 5 health, so they're slightly stronger, but they also only roll a single brown defense die. Let's find what these special abilities are. Ravenous, so this is the master. When attacking a hero that is bleeding, this monster adds 1 surge to its attack results. Well, nobody's bleeding yet. Merge, this goes for all rat swarms. Choose 1 monster adjacent to this monster of the same group. This monster suffers damage equal to its remaining health, and the chosen monster recovers an equal amount of health. Well, that's nice, isn't it? So it will kill its mates in order to survive, pretty much, that looks like. Rend. Choose a hero adjacent to this monster to test might. If he fails, he is bleeding, and then good old Ravenous comes into play. And Feast. On a surge, this attack gains X wounds, where X is equal to this monster's remaining health. So the stronger it is, if it gets a Feast, that's nasty. Those are the group limits, but we're ignoring them as per the app. So that's the rat swarm. Again, I've put some numbers on the minions, so that is 1, and the one up there is number 2. Myriads, nice looking dudes. So the minions move 3, they've got a health of 5, which is about, oh, they've got a black defense die. Oh, they've got a blue and a red attack die. Oh, and we haven't even got to the master yet. So it's got reach, that'll be those tentacles. So like Asrian, they don't have to be exactly adjacent, they can be 1 square away. It can immobilise on a surge, that's a condition. And on a surge it also causes +1 damage. The master, again, red and a blue attack die. It's got reach, flail, that's probably nasty. And it too can immobilise on a surge, and on a surge it can also do 2 additional damage. 3 movement, but it's got 7 health, and it's got that nasty black defense die. So Myriads. Reach, the monster may attack targets up to 2 spaces away. Flail, so I think this is the master, isn't it, that's got flail? Yeah. When attacking, this monster may target 2 separate heroes. This monster makes 1 attack roll, and each hero rolls defense dice separately. And immobilise, if this attack deals at least 1 wound after the defense roll, the target is immobilised. So that is the Myriads. They're tough mothers. The rat swarms not so much, but the Myriads are. We'll have to try and take those down. Okay, so we haven't actually started this round, so I'm going to leave it there. Dun dun dun, cliffhanger. So they've managed to kill all the flesh moulders that attacked them in here. They got away pretty much unscathed. I think there's only Leoric that's got a single damage on him. Asrian, as you can just see there, she's got 3 fatigue. And we have anybody else? Grisban's got 2 fatigue. If you remember, he had a fatigue from waking up that he didn't get rid of, and he also used a fatigue to move to open the door. So he's got 2. He's also got that cursed doll, which is excellent find now because of the abilities of these monsters to be able to immobilise and stuff like that. So that cursed doll hopefully will come in very useful if that if they try and immobilise us or anything like that. So that was a good find. And yes, so everybody's sort of ready to rock and roll. So I think we're going to move out of here, try and kill these Myriads as quickly as possible. We might put Reg and Grisban on the Myriads, and we'll use an Asrian as well. She's a melee character, and we may have Leoric and Jain sort of trying to take out these rat swarms, I think. We'll see how it goes, but it looks like it's going to be a big battle next turn. So, thank you very much for watching. Descent, Journeys in the Dark, 2nd edition, Road to Legend, where we're playing Rise of All Goblins. And thank you so much for all the subscriptions, for all the views, for continuing to keep watching, and for all the tips and hints and sound advice that I've been given. Also, as usual, if you've noticed me make a mistake, please flag it up and I will do my best to fix it for next turn. So, groovy. So that is it for, I think it's, what we're on, turn 4. So I hope you will join me for turn 5. But until then, this is me, Catweazle, signing off. Toodaloo.